Hello, everybody, and welcome once again to another rendition of the IWC Radio podcast. Hopefully you're doing good out there, wherever you are tuning in. Joining me this week, Chucks and Will. No beans this week. Hold the beans. How you guys doing?
Hello.
Yeah. When the intro was playing, I was like, "Oh shit, Beans isn't here. I wonder if anybody's gonna do the hello gimmick to me."
Yeah, it's weird. It's weird when I do it, but I feel like someone needs to.
Yeah. That's such a weird gimmick to have. I feel at the start of each episode. I don't get it either.
How about this one?
There we go. That's a little bit less weird because, like, I can do that too. In fact, this one's almost been sitting at room temperature. I pulled it out of the fridge like about 30 minutes ago. And it's just been sitting on my desk, like, normalizing. And yeah, I don't want that to happen. No good.
What is it?
Pitch Black. Mountain Dew Pitch Black.
Mountain Dew Pitch Black.
Yeah.
I'm sure we've been through this before. What flavor is black?
Grape. It's Mountain Dew grape.
That sounds pretty good.
Yeah, I like it.
Not for me.
You're not a fan of a grape?
No.
Let alone with Mountain Dew in it?
No.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fine.
Just get out.
Difficult to find grape sodas in the UK.
Alright, yeah.
We've definitely talked about this maybe 2 years ago.
We have. For sure. This is
difficult
definitely
to find in the UK.
Yeah. I don't think they give you guys the gimmick sodas.
Not so much.
Over there. Like, I think Coke Vanilla, and that's about it. Or Cherry.
Not even that anymore. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks, Obama.
We're lucky to get real Coke these days.
Yeah.
Oh, right, yeah. Because you were well, Chucks, you were traveling the world over there in Europe. Last week. Well,
I mean, you're not wrong.
Yeah.
It's a little inaccurate, but it's not wrong.
Right. And then, like, the other week you were telling me about how they mix Coca-Cola with, like, through syrup and soda water and whatnot. And that kind of blew my mind. That they just didn't have,
only
like,
in
cans
pubs.
And yeah, only in pubs.
Only in pubs, so, like, the same way that they'd, like, pull a pint of whatever.
Yeah.
With, the pump on draft. They have the thing on tap with a Coke or a lemonade or whatever. And, yeah, it's mixed with syrup for, I guess, to make it easier to ship. You just ship
Or
syrup.
cheaper.
Cheaper, yeah.
Yeah,
cheaper and easier.
But what some places have started doing, I don't know if you know, Schmidt, but our wonderful government has put in a sugar tax.
Oh, yeah, that's the other thing I've heard of.
So basically anything that's got a lot of sugar in gets charged more.
Yeah.
We get charged more for it. But what a lot of places have decided to do is to stop any confusion, is to not sell the full sugar version.
And not tell you about it.
And not tell you.
Wow, what a dick thing to do.
Yeah, she didn't even
I
get
think
the face.
this is the story. 2 weeks ago, I went to the pub, ordered a Coke, and then got given a Coke Zero, and they refused to admit that it was zero.
Yeah, I remember you saying this.
I would be pissed. I would be raising hell.
I was pissed. But what can you do? When someone just says, no, we don't, we only serve regular. We serve regular and diet. And I know this is zero.
You clearly gave me the diet version. I want the regular version.
No, because he even then poured out, because I said this is not regular. This has to be zero. He said, well, you can try the diet if you want. So I tried a bit of diet, and it was definitely diet. So well, if it's not diet, that's zero then. You're serving zero and diet. There's no regular Coke here. And he said, well, we only serve regular and diet.
Oh my god.
You're lying to me, and you have to know that you're lying to me. And I know that you know, and you know that I know that you're lying. But you're still lying. What can you do?
What, was this just a normal pub, or was it one of the larger branded pubs?
As far as I know, it's not.
Okay. Because I know Wetherspoons, other pubs are available. They do actually do Pepsi, but you've got to specifically ask for it. You've got to say, I want regular Pepsi, otherwise you're gonna get Max.
Yeah, there are a few around here, but you have to...
Yeah, I hate Pepsi Max.
Well, I mean, Pepsi in general, right?
Yeah, that too. Well, I take that back. I don't mind Pepsi in general. Like I could either drink Coke or Pepsi. It doesn't matter. It's the diets that kind of fuck me up.
Yeah, I'm ashamed.
That's the same.
Yeah, like back in the day though, I used to be able to drink regular or diet. It didn't matter. But then they started adding aspartame to everything, and yeah, that's ugh,
even normal stuff. Regular Dr Pepper full of aspartame now. Sprite.
Weird.
Everything tastes like crap.
They ruined Dr Pepper here. A couple of years ago, they changed the recipe. It was hot. It used to be really nice. Now it's horrible.
Yeah, exactly.
Huh.
You know, if they keep this up, I'm gonna have to stop drink. I'm gonna have to just drink water. Is that what you want, government? Is that what you want?
I think it was their end goal this entire time.
Yeah. Just like the plastic bag tax. I get around that by bringing my own bags back. Yeah, sneaky. I bet they didn't think of that.
They're putting that up soon as well, apparently.
No.
10p a bag, I've heard. Yeah. Shocking.
Why?
Because the bastards.
Certain stores around here try to charge it for bags and whatnot, especially out in California and whatnot. I think they have like a bag tax to kind of cut down on plastic and such.
Yeah, I kind of get it, but then at the same time, if you're doing like a load of shopping,
yeah,
you know what you're gonna do? You're gonna have to get a bag.
What are you gonna do? I have to like carry it all.
Yeah, just all
take 100 trips to the car.
Yeah,
I think the bigger supermarkets should be exempt, or don't know, maybe one charge.
They should just pay for it.
Well, yeah.
Like Tesco can't afford to pay for bags.
Yeah.
You can't put everything else in the shop up by 0.0001p and make it back. Like it's so they get charged for it by the government. They get taxed, and then they pass it on to us. And it's not even like they're trying to pretend that that's not what's happening.
Yeah.
We get taxed, so you get taxed. We're not going to suffer anything. Now, we're making all the plastic, but you pay for it. Sucks.
I agree.
Going back to that trip from last week, how was it, by the way?
Last week, yeah, it's really good. Really good. Liverpool is good fun. Manchester is, well, they have good football there. Half of the city has good football, and they have terrible retro shops. My wife's obsessed with like charity shopping. You know, get what I guess you call it thrift shopping.
Ah, okay, yeah.
Just cheap stuff, getting bargains.
Yeah.
She loves it. So we decided when we're up in Manchester, we'll see what kind of things they do. Turns out, no charity shops, all retro shops.
Ooh.
So you can pay 25 quid for like an 80s shell suit. Or, I mean, it's horrible clothes.
Wow.
And it costs a fortune. And Beans isn't here to defend his city. I'll just trash it. Nice enough place.
He would probably agree with you, though.
Half decent pizzas there as well. The problem was the motorway coming back. The M6. Well, I don't know if you ever travel the M6 coming down this way.
Once, not often.
You might want to avoid it for the next 4 years. Because they are apparently renovating chunks of it. Not a whole stretch, but like a bit here, then it's fine, and then a bit, and then it's fine, and then a bit. So you have to keep going 50 miles an hour, bottlenecks every like couple of miles. And we were stuck in one. It's supposed to be a 3-hour journey, and it took 5.5 because we just had to keep stopping. Looked over at one point, it said there's a sign that says delays expected until 2022. Like, you're taking the piss. You're actually taking the piss. I'm going to be on this motorway for 4 years. There it goes. And then you get past Birmingham, it's fine. Fly back. Well, I'll see you for WrestleMania 40 or whatever it is that we're going to have here. You can come down and we'll go to London together.
Yeah. That'll be the day.
That'll be the day.
The greatest WrestleMania.
Oh, God. Oh, my God. don't even joke about that. I'm actually waiting for him to like pull something like that.
They give it like a really English name, like instead of the greatest, it'd be like the jolliest or the smashingest, or
The Core Blimey WrestleMania.
yeah, bloody great WrestleMania.
Smashing.
Exactly.
All right. Should we just get into the prediction game?
All right, let's get into that.
Before we get into SummerSlam, just did anyone catch the takeover?
I did. Actually caught it live. Yes.
Again, I thought it was really good. They don't ever seem to disappoint with these things.
Never.
I would agree, but I felt disappointed with that main event finish with the last man standing. Yeah. I thought it was pretty fucking dumb to have the good guy handcuff the bad guy up on the stage with the LEDs and then have the good guy injure himself as a way to lose the match.
That spot, what you're talking about, where he ran off the stage, that made me cringe. I thought that was horrible to watch.
Yeah, that was really bad. Like, I don't know who came up with that, but I go back to the drawing board with that finish, in my opinion.
No, sorry, I meant horrible in a good way, if you know what I mean.
Oh, right. No, I got it, yeah.
I thought it was really done. Yeah. Very well done. The bit with the handcuffs, yeah, I kind of see what you mean, but I don't know. It worked.
Yeah, the match itself was fine. Like, I didn't have any quarrels about the match itself, you know, and everything leading up to that spot on the stage, but the finish I just didn't like. It just made the good guy look like a complete goof, and ended up, you know, with the bad guy winning, walking out on both knees, where one's not dislocated. So that's my only quarrel about it. Chucks, did you see it at all, or?
No, I missed it. No. But Triple H came out on Raw and said that it was really good. So, you know.
Yeah,
you have to take his word for it.
I'm sure he's right. Yeah. They've all been great. They've done however many, 20 or so, and they've all been great. So I believe it.
Yeah. It was good. I just don't know where they're going to go from here now, because they put a lot of emphasis on that who attacked Aleister Black storyline.
Yeah, because like there's a whole bunch of people I've heard that were like back there when he got quote unquote injured, and they're gonna
they've done that really well as well. They've got different camera angles, and they could be about 4 different people. So they've done that quite well.
Did they ever reveal who attacked Hideo Itami?
Did they? I
don't think so.
remember.
No, I don't think they ever did. No.
No, you're probably right. I don't think they did.
Could be the same guy.
Rikishi.
It's Rikishi.
He did this to the
whoever kidnapped Samoa Joe that time. Anyway.
All right, let's get to it here.
Okay, let's get to it.
Do you have the papers?
I do have the papers. It's I got the notes here somewhere.
Did you get your predictions in before the show? I didn't see him.
He did, yes.
I did.
Oh.
I tweeted them from the Bolton Whites Hotel.
Fair enough.
And it turns out I've compiled them all together, and they're not exactly the same as everyone else, which is nice. Good. Pretty close, actually. But,
not nice for me, because I think I did terrible.
Yeah, we'll see. See about that. Right. So, along with not seeing the takeover, I didn't see the pre-show. So I don't know if you guys can help me out with this one a little bit.
Okay.
I've seen the last hour, but yeah.
The last hour of the how many hours was the pre-show?
Two
hours.
2 hour pre-show. That's as long as SmackDown.
Yeah, pretty much. One of these days, SmackDown's just literally going to be the pre-show to like a WrestleMania. at this
Heat used
point.
to be, I guess.
That's
It
true.
was SmackDown before SmackDown.
Yeah. Yeah, back in the day.
Okay, so this 2-hour show had 3 matches. The first of which was Andrade Almas and Zelina Vega defeating Lana and Rusev. What happened in this?
I know at the beginning, Rusev, basically told English to stay in the back. We don't need you. And then the result was that Rusev and Lana lost. Yeah, he didn't come out. I think Vega was trying to go for the pin with the feet on the ropes, but she couldn't reach. So it looked.
She is very short.
Yeah, it kind of looked pretty awkward. Yeah, that's the main takeaways I have from that. Pretty good match, but barely memorable. I do know that it was so early on, barely anybody was in the arena.
Yeah.
That was the other thing.
Let's see. So, when Aiden English comes out, he costs them the match all the time. He messes up and costs them matches. So they tell him to stay backstage, and they lose anyway. At what point do Lana and Rusev have to admit, maybe it's not him?
Yeah. I think this past Tuesday on SmackDown, they might have realized that because English came out and helped gain Rusev and Lana the win, I believe. Because Almas was going for a steel chair, which, had Almas used it, it would have been a disqualification anyway, and Rusev and Lana were going to win. So, take that for what it's worth.
Maybe, yeah. I don't know if that's... If you were a wrestler...
Yeah.
And you could win a match by getting hit by a chair, or not, maybe lose the match, would you take a win if it meant getting hit in the head with a chair?
Well, I mean...
It's kind of like...
I don't know if you could get away with getting hit in the head with a chair nowadays, but...
I mean, it's just, hypothetical question.
Depends on the pay rate.
It would give you a win, and a win's a good thing, but
right.
You also get hit with a chair, and that's not so good.
Depends on the pay rate. If they pay you more for an actual pin win or a DQ win,
True. This needs to be worked out beforehand. Yeah, good answer. It's not a clear answer,
no.
But I think it's the right answer. It's well thought through. Okay, then... So this is points all round except for you, Smoke. You thought Rusev and Lana would do it.
I thought this would have been the finish, I guess, from SmackDown on the pre-show. But I guess not, so...
well. Next up was Cedric Alexander retaining the Cruiserweight Championship against Drew Gulak. I was the fool here who thought that this was Gulak's time. It is not. You guys all get points for predicting Cedric to retain.
Gulak looked like he was wearing a pair of trousers. Like a stereotypical pair of boxers during the match.
Wait, trousers or boxers?
The boxers. We'll go with boxers.
Huh.
Because they were
those...
they were striped, and I was like, is he wearing boxers? No. No, he's not. Just whenever I would glance over.
Like those trunks that look like underwear?
Yeah, something like that.
Like the ones that Wade Barrett used to wear?
Yeah.
Yeah. I wonder if he's unblocked me.
No, probably not. Probably not.
Wade Barrett?
Yeah, Wade Barrett.
Is he still going by the name Wade Barrett on Twitter?
No, it's Stu Bennett.
No, it was Stu Bennett.
Which is a great name, by the way.
My Twitter's not working.
Well, that's not.
That's not good. Stu Bennett. It's not going anywhere. Okay. Then I didn't see the match again. I don't know if there's anything noteworthy about this other than the underpants tights.
Okay.
No? Nothing good?
I think Gulak, I think a couple of times, if I'm not mistaken on that, he had a decent shot at winning it, but Alexander, I think, got the best of them. So
I am still blocked apparently by YouTube Reddit, which is not good for World of Sport.
His last tweet was to Neville of WWE fame, telling him that there's a space at the World of Sport roster for him.
Of course there is.
There's also a report, I think, a couple days ago saying that Neville's no longer under WWE contract again.
Yeah.
So,
I think that's why he sent this tweet 9 hours ago.
yeah.
So, I don't know when they're doing any set of World of Sport tapings, but maybe he'll appear.
That'd be
Maybe.
great.
Maybe.
Neville should be doing something somewhere. Too good to be sat at home. Then we have the pre-show main event, the B Team, go, retaining the Raw Tag Team Championship against the Revival. I think we all... where's our predictions for that one? Yeah, we all predicted B Team.
Yes.
Points all round, yay.
Go.
Go. Where does this go? When is this going to be too much for the B Team? Like, this winning streak, it's fun, but then Zack Ryder winning was fun until he kind of wore off because we liked him because he didn't win. When do they just become a team that wins matches sometimes?
Instead of an undefeated tag team, which is what they currently are.
Yeah, but the fun of them being, like, the whole gimmick here is that they are a loser tag team who now isn't losing.
And they're winning from, like, just dumb luck. Quote-unquote
yeah,
dumb
kinda.
luck. Yeah.
Kind of, but then can you do this for 2 years? Because then they're just going to be a very successful tag team, right?
Right.
And are we still supposed to think of them as losers when they're not losing at all? And then it's still going to be as fun when they are just winning matches. I wonder how long the shelf life is, that's all.
Yeah, I get where you're coming from. I mean, it's got to get old at some point, yeah. I mean, nothing lasts forever.
Nothing lasts forever.
Were they on Raw? Oh, right. Individually, the Revival beat them on Raw, but as a team, they couldn't do it on the pay-per-view here on the pre-show. So.
Suck to be the Revival. Another one who shouldn't have come out of NXT.
Wait, who's that again?
The Revival.
The Revival? Yeah.
Revival and American Alpha. So good in NXT. What went wrong?
But hey, they're making loads of money, so that's what it's all about.
Yes, so.
It's all about the money.
Who was it said that recently? One of the NXT call-ups? I think it might have been Jason Jordan or someone.
Oh god.
Basically tweeted out and said the same thing. I'd rather be not used on Raw than...
Oh, it was, no, it wasn't Jason Jordan, it was, Tyler Breeze.
That's it, yeah.
Yeah.
Him, yeah.
They'd rather not be used on Raw than be in NXT.
Pretty much, yeah.
Well, I can see the argument.
I think.
I can see the financial advantage, but...
Yeah, absolutely.
Maybe it was Jordan, I don't remember.
I think you might be right, I think it was Breeze.
Okay.
Well, it's only like 6 months till Fandango comes back.
Yeah, that's true. just hang around.
Just hang around and lose every couple of months, and we'll be back to normal soon. Start giving out tickets, fashion, whatever it's called, infractions. Then the main show kicks off with the IC title match. Seth Rollins picking up the belt from Dolph Ziggler, just traded it straight back. Dean Ambrose at ringside, I guess, helped neutralize the McIntyre threat. Good match, went 22 minutes. There was no Royal Rumble countdowns and buzzers. They just had a match.
Yeah. Wasn't bad either.
No, it was one of the longer matches. It seemed to be a show with like a few really long matches and a few real quick squashes.
Mm.
Really stood out. There were 3 matches especially which were just stupidly short.
Yeah.
One-sided. But then there were also 3, I think it's 3. Yeah, it looks like 3, which were decent length. Obviously the wrestling section of the show. This was one of them. Good stuff.
Yeah.
No extra little notes, comments to throw in here.
Not on that one, no. Nothing
No.
major.
We all predicted Ziggler. We all
Yeah,
thought the Ziggler thing was going to carry on.
I have a minor note. Fucking Bean screwed me out of a point on this one because I was initially going to pick Rollins, and then he sold me on this fucking heel turn that never happened from Dean Ambrose.
Dean Ambrose heel turn. He thought that was going to happen?
Yeah.
I could kind of see what he meant, but I didn't think it was going to happen then. Not yet.
That'd be
I
a
should have listened to you.
bad idea.
Yeah.
It's not happening yet.
Yeah. I thought him coming back meant that they were going to be a tag team again.
Well,
When
they
he got
technically
injured,
are.
they were tag champions.
Yeah.
I thought they'd just go
Yeah.
straight back into that.
Yeah. I didn't see the Shield being reunited though.
No.
Not properly. We'll get to that.
Yeah.
So yeah, no points for us. That was bad times.
Sorry, I accidentally
But
marked
once-
that purple incorrectly there.
No. Because they're cruiserweights, I guess.
Yeah. You're right. Yeah. Yeah. Damn it, Beans.
Blame Beans.
Yeah. I'm blaming him on that one.
Blame Beans. Okay, then we have the New Day. And I think you guys get points for this, didn't you? Yeah, both of you. Damn it. Finagled your way into points. The New Day technically beat the Bludgeon Brothers.
Yeah, by DQ.
It's by DQ.
Yeah.
They don't win the belt, but they did
won.
technically win. Not happy about it.
Sets up for the rematch in Hell in a Cell, probably.
Oh, everyone's going to be in the cell.
No, because if you've seen what happened on SmackDown.
Right, never mind. Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely 100% right. You're right. I guess you didn't see SmackDown, Chucks.
Still haven't. No.
Okay.
I caught up on Raw, but not on SmackDown yet.
Right, I forgot about that main event.
Are we okay with spoilers, or are you gonna watch it? Or
I will, but give me a little spoil. It's all right.
there's an injury
Oh.
on the Bludgeon side.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Which led to a title match for the main event for the tag team titles.
Mhm.
Ah,
I think you can guess where this is going.
yeah.
I guess so. Oh man. Okay, so Rowan suffered a biceps injury during the match.
Mm.
Ah. Well, that sucks.
It must,
Yeah, because apparently they had quite big plans for them.
it must have been when he was trying to go for that hammer. Because it's so heavy, obviously.
It's a really
yeah.
heavy hammer.
That sucks though. Like I don't know. I really like the Bludgeon Brothers. I love the gimmick.
Yeah.
Yeah. I hope he gets well soon.
Yeah.
Biceps injury, that could be a while.
Yeah.
Unless he talks to John Cena about it, I guess.
Yeah.
We'll be back in record time. Then, first squash of the evening. Braun Strowman completely destroyed Kevin Owens.
What was this
So-
about?
This was
I don't know.
this was awful. This was awful. 100% awful.
It was awful for you two because you thought Owens was going to win, presumably because of the Money in the Bank briefcase
They
stipulation.
kept emphasizing, hey, if Strowman loses in any way. And, he can't lose in a squash match because he's going over, I guess. And the one time I didn't pick Strowman is the squash match that shouldn't have happened on SummerSlam. So, I don't know.
Let's get his win back.
Yeah, because of 50-50 booking. I forgot about that. That's the other thing. But I don't know. The match itself was just weird. Like, just to throw Owens out there with the special shirt of KO in the bank.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah, I made no sense to me.
None of this feud does, really.
Yeah,
I find
true.
Owens much more sympathetic.
Yeah.
I feel like Strowman's just bullying him.
Yeah, pretty much.
Owens he doesn't seem like that bad a guy. There was one time that he tried to use Strowman. He tried to like pretend to be friends with him.
Yeah.
And Strowman beat him up. But even then, he was quite open about it. Like, well, no, we don't really like each other, but we should team up. Yeah, I don't get it. Why are we supposed to hate Kevin Owens? It's a family man.
Yeah. No,
So where's Sami Zayn?
Yeah. That's a good question.
Didn't he have 2 surgeries at once?
Is that
Did
true?
he?
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm sure it was something, a rotator cuff.
Ooh.
I think they had one and then they realised they needed the other one too as well.
Jeez.
Yeah.
You're both at the same time, so both of you. Yeah, sucks. Alright. Then we go on to the triple threat for the Women's Championship. Did any of us get this? Yeah, Beans did. Damn it, Beans. So Charlotte ended up winning. Of course she did. She's the favorite. Carmella, as we all predicted, didn't. Becky, no one believed that she would do it, apparently. And she didn't. Because, she's Becky.
I did, but heading into this, I knew she wasn't going to win because it wasn't a one-on-one match.
Yeah. And
I thought, I was under the impression that, Becky and Charlotte would implode during the match, not after. I didn't like the fact that Becky turned heel because, she has a legitimate gripe against Charlotte.
Yeah.
Charlotte should have been the one that was the bad person here. And I don't know. I'm all for it. I'm all for Becky versus Charlotte, but at the same time, I think the roles need to be reversed in that regard. So
this is what I was most interested about on SmackDown.
Yeah.
Because I heard that she does a promo where she tries to use that line, "I didn't turn my back on you, you all turned your backs on me." When actually at the pay-per-view, everyone was completely in support of this heel turn.
Yeah, it's...
And I got it too.
Ridiculous.
I thought it was totally justified. She had a title match. For some reason, Charlotte again has to be added. Because she's I don't know why. She's the favorite for some reason. She has to be in everything.
Because she's a Flair.
Because she's a Flair, exactly. She's not even that good. Okay.
Wow.
And yeah, I completely understand why she'd be pissed. She just stole this championship opportunity. And I think a lot of fans feel the same. Obviously, when she turned and everyone was completely in support, a lot of people feel the same way. Maybe this is one of those times where you should kind of go with it. Maybe Becky is actually a fiery babyface now. Charlotte maybe could subtly play the, "I deserve this. I'm second generation. I'm better than everyone."
I just
or not.
I don't know. Like I'm tired of just stacking accolades on Charlotte Flair because she's a Flair at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Regardless of how well she is or isn't in the ring. That seems to be the general consensus is just, hey, let's, I don't know, just rack up as many title victories or championship reigns on her as so that she could be like her father or something like that. I guess I don't know. I just
There's that. Yeah. And beat Asuka for what reason?
Mm.
Yeah,
That was a bit of a waste.
I don't know. I just a lot, and again, it goes back to the whole NXT call up thing that you kind of cursed on the main roster if you're a call up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If women regularly got main events, and if the division was a bigger deal, if it was treated like a bigger deal by the company, I really think that it wouldn't be too long before Charlotte started getting the Roman Reigns, John Cena reaction.
Oh yeah.
It's only because it's like it's clearly not that important and it's not the focus.
Yeah.
If she then gets pushed into the main event of this, what's it called, Evolution, maybe something might start happening there.
Yeah, I don't know. It's yeah, I'm with you on that. It's going to be kind of telling to see what happens, but I don't know if I kind of like this like expectation that the fans are just going to like shit on the entire like night of Evolution, like in the back of my head, which would be unfortunate, but you know, this is the same fan base now that has decided to root for the Royal Rumble clock by chanting the numbers and doing the buzzer. Which it's very noticeable that it irks WWE staff because they just hide the clock and whatnot.
And then that ruins the match.
Yeah.
Because the guys were working their spots according to the time.
Yeah, God.
Have to just put it back up. Yeah, I don't know. I still have that feeling like if you pay to go to a show, you don't want to shit on it.
Right.
But I don't know, sometimes you just kind of do. Sometimes the way WWE books, they make you wanna a little bit.
I think if it's once or twice and it's actually quite funny, then yeah. But if you're doing it all the time, it's a bit annoying for everyone. You don't mind it once or twice, and if it's genuinely funny, you laugh at it. But like the buzzing thing, that was funny about twice.
Yeah.
And then it just got boring.
I kind of
the beach ball thing. The beach ball thing was funny. Now it's
beach ball thing is funny. No, I still find it funny because it's a protest against something that I think is still a problem.
Yeah.
It's saying we're not enjoying what's going on, and we are still here to have a good time.
So we're not going to entertain ourselves.
So yeah, this is fun.
Yeah.
This is fun for us.
I don't know. I think it's the beach ball. I think it's become a sort of parody of itself, really. It kind of They just do it to make sure they're on telly now.
There was a similar thing about the Full Sail crowd. They had too many chants, and it was like a bit of a thing. They would always have to come up with something for everyone, and it was always a bit forced.
Like TNA was with the "This is awesome" chant. That was happening every 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
God. Yeah. Yeah.
But even so, I think like if what was going on was good enough, that wouldn't happen. If they made characters that we cared about and could actually believe in a little bit, then maybe this wouldn't be happening.
True.
Yeah.
I guess we'll never know for sure. For now, I kind of like that. At least the fans have got like a voice. At least they're. I don't know. At least that is organic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That yeah.
I'll take that for now. Then match of the night, maybe. Yeah, I think it has to be. Samoa Joe technically defeated AJ Styles by DQ. Not the champion, but he won the match, and so he gave me and Beans a point.
God damn it. Couldn't AJ just like block all that trash talk out of his mind? Get him with like a fluke roll up in the ring, 1, 2, 3, while he was, while Samoa Joe was jabber jawing at Wendy.
He could have done, but then there's not another match rather a pay-per-view.
That's true. That's true.
You think AJ wanted the DQ because then it guarantees him another good match next month?
Yeah.
It's like, who knows? You might pair me up with Rusev again if I don't have another one with Samoa Joe.
Just make sure he's on the card.
Speaking by the way, I don't know if, going back to NXT for a quick moment, I don't know if you guys saw it in the little accent marks of NXT Takeover, but apparently there was, like, subliminal messaging about, like, Rusev and Lana. Like, I'll try to pull it up here.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Here, I'll try to get it here. Hold on.
On the old YouTubes
I'm intrigued.
What's his Twitter? Rusev. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, it was up in the strips, the accent strips around the arena.
Right.
And here, let me throw it up on the stream here. Hold on. Yeah, just notice the text in the arena on the NXT Takeover signs. This is a fan, by the way, and Rusev retweeted him. An angry Rusev orders Lana to get out. Yeah.
What the hell? I see an angry Rusev.
Angry Rusev
orders
orders
Lana
to go out.
Go.
Yeah. So maybe it's like.
Sounds...
So maybe it's like something with like from a script or something. Yeah.
That looks like the script, yeah.
Well, I mean, that's like, it's not HTML, is it? It's some kind of coding.
It is HTML because
it's HTML.
I've looked at it to take over stuff before, and it is just HTML. It doesn't really make a lot of sense either, but it is workable HTML.
See the next bit, something area following his loss.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Following his loss.
So yeah, that's like angry. Yeah.
And Rusev said basically, here, hold on, if I can go back.
Didn't that happen on SmackDown quite recently, where he told her to get out?
Yeah, but I don't know if it was Lana though.
I think he was in the backstage area following his loss.
It was, yeah.
Yeah, he just pretty much said somebody's inappropriate joke.
Someone's inappropriate joke.
Yeah.
Somebody inappropriate joke.
That's someone probably just copied and pasted the script.
Yeah, what a weird thing to have. Yeah.
Just hope no one noticed. Someone did.
Someone did, yeah. Strangely enough.
There was I was doing a thing on a forum, probably the Observer forums a while back, like linking the pictures from like a WrestleMania into a thread, so we kind of have like the graphics in the thread where we can talk about the matches and stuff. I was copy and pasting, and I was updating right before the show, and there was a last minute change to one of the things, so I had to like get the new URL for the picture, and it had been uploaded as like SophieWorksTooHard.jpg. And instead of whatever it was, Triple H versus Cena code, it was like whoever it was works too hard. As if someone in one of the offices had just gone, why am I doing this at this time on a Sunday? I work too hard. That's weird. Presumably thinking no one would notice, but for some reason
somebody
I did.
Yeah.
Speaking of random images, if you ever get a minute, have a look at the Twitter account at Main in Any Arena.
Main in Any Arena?
Main, yeah. It's the random shots from the match cards from years gone by, from different shows. But they're just really odd and really funny. Some of them are just Twitter at Main in Any Arena. I'll send the link in the.
Yeah, I see what you're talking about. Yeah, here. Hold on, I can throw it to. There it is. Yep, there's the. I really hate that Skype just has like sounds enabled by default, and I have to like turn it off every fucking time. By the way. But here, let me cut the Chrome. There we are. Undertaker.
Big Show's way, yeah.
Yeah, that one's a classic.
John Cena, Randy Orton versus the entire Raw roster. That was a good one. Yeah.
How did they get so many people on the building?
You can spend ages looking through them all. Some of them are just like, what the hell were they thinking?
Quality roster too.
Handshake.
Cody Rhodes' eyes at the top there. Cade and Murdoch.
They got the CM Punk Kevin Nash one.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Nash's head looks about 12 times too big.
Yeah.
Jeff Hardy, Randy Orton, handshake.
Yeah.
Summertime sadness, yeah.
My favourite one's the one underneath that summer one, the SmackDown.
Six-man tag, Dudley Boyz and Nick Patrick versus The Rock, Jericho, and Mike Chioda. That's a very young Mike Chioda, by the way, I'd like to point out.
Get Nick Patrick's face.
Yeah, oh my
That
god.
doesn't look anything like Nick Patrick. Oh, he's backwards. The WCW one him is backwards.
Oh, you're right, yeah. Look at that right there, huh? Oh my god, John Cena, Kenzo Suzuki,
Cena, Kenzo Suzuki.
battle rap,
Yeah.
live contract negotiations. Oh my god. I gotta follow this account. I feel because I'm glad
This is pretty great.
I'm
yeah.
glad this exists. Really, this is your life.
Lashley versus Paul Heyman's personal enforcers.
I actually have the tail of the tape here. This one, because I would send it to Beans all the time.
Flintstones one.
Yeah. Oh my god.
There's another Randy Orton versus Jeff Hardy.
Yeah.
This match has been going on forever.
Yep.
What's that Angle one all about underneath that?
Angle and
What's that?
Charmel.
Angle and Sharmell,
Yeah.
What's happening tonight?
They're gonna have a staring contest. Oh god. Jeff Jarrett's singing debut. Wow.
Oh, Vince in the hat. Vince looking like a neo gangster.
Yeah. Anyway, we
Sorry,
gotta get back.
I'll ruin the show.
Yeah, you've completely distracted me now.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, let me cut back to the predictions. There we go. But I am giving that a follow. Like, there's no way I'm not following that. Anywho, yeah, so that was the
Randy
women's
Orton
match.
versus Cena.
That was the women's match. Charlotte's now an umpteenth time champion, it feels like. Because her and Sasha would just hot potato the women's title a whole bunch.
Yeah.
Where are we going from there, Chucks?
He's still looking on the Twitter page.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
I know.
completely absorbed. Right, Samoa Joe beat AJ. We did that one. Points for me and Beans. Then we get to The Miz. The Miz and Daniel Bryan.
Oh,
Yeah, these two were the other long matches. This one seemed to go on forever.
yeah.
I thought this was going to be a real quick thing. Daniel Bryan just gets his offense. You know, this is all we wanted to see. A few yes kicks and just, punch the guy in the face. No, it went on for 23:30 apparently.
That one?
Long. Oh yeah, just kept going and going and going.
I honestly thought Maurice was going to toss the child into the ring, distract Bryan with it. Bryan would be like, "No, this is a fake baby," and then like kick his head off or something like that.
Gonna do that again?
Yeah, do it, but this time Bryan would be.
Angle again.
Yeah, but this time Bryan wouldn't be fooled by the Betsy Wetsy doll.
And this time it would actually be the baby.
Oh God, yeah, that would be
Double swerve. And like he just
swerve.
bats the baby away, like Gene Snitsky. And I know that's an actual baby.
Yeah.
That's what happens when I book. No points for us.
No.
We all thought this was going to be a real easy, how could you book this wrong? After 3 years or whatever it's been, Daniel Bryan,
8.
he just wins. Obviously, he just wins. But no.
Instead, Bryan may or may not have resigned. And then, I guess because of that cloudy forecast, if you will, Miz goes over. With Regal's power of the punch, I might add.
It was. The left hand and everything.
Yeah. Can't remember the
Power
last
of the
time
punch.
that's ever won a match.
It's been a while since Regal's won a match.
No, that's true, too.
Mm-hmm.
But now it leads to Hell in a Cell between Brie and Bryan versus Maurice and Miz, which don't know who to pick at that one as of right now.
Really, they're doing a mixed tag?
Yeah, that was also from this week's SmackDown. I'm sorry.
Jesus.
Sorry.
No, not you. Not you. That's the worst thing they could have done.
Yeah.
Isn't the mixed tag a Hell in a Cell?
Yeah. It's also a Hell in a Cell.
Jesus.
And
I don't think see Maurice in a Hell in a Cell.
I mean, all right. I'm okay with it.
They're kind of doing this the wrong way around. I think they should have done the mixed tag at Super Smashing Showdown, whatever it's called. And
Super show. Well, no, Hell in a Cell's coming up, so they gotta keep the feud going. I don't think they can stretch it till
We
like
just have the
Super
two
Showdown.
of them in the cell.
well, we're getting the two of them at Super Showdown
Great.
instead, and that's going to be the #1 contenders match apparently.
Miz can win that as well.
Yeah.
Have his match with Styles.
Just a quick check. Doesn't actually say that it was a Hell in a Cell match, Will, by the way.
No, I didn't think it would be. I knew it was at Hell in a Cell.
Okay. At Hell in a Cell, not in Hell in a Cell.
Yeah, sorry.
That's why you have to say at the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view.
No.
Oh yeah.
In the Hell in a Cell match at the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Or network event, whatever it is.
Yeah.
God. Yeah, you just put these guys in a cell. But no. Super Showdown. Let's have something. I'm losing all faith in this company.
Yeah.
The little that I had left.
Yeah.
Next.
Next.
Finn Balor, though.
Oh, God.
This is where all things do start looking up.
Yeah, it wasn't bad.
This was pretty great, actually. So it's the Demon. The Demon shows up.
Mm-hmm.
Surprises everybody.
Surprises everyone because they didn't announce it. They didn't even come out on Raw or anything.
I think I know why. He'd left all his Demon gear in Brooklyn last year.
In SummerSlam, yeah.
Yeah. I think he just didn't know where it was. He found it again.
He found it again. Makes sense.
But no, I enjoyed this one. I thought it was good.
Yeah. So the lights go down and we get that extra bit of his theme where it goes, ooh. Kind of like inhale bit. Ooh. You know what I mean? Yeah. And then, then the Demon comes out and beats up Baron Corbin a bit. And stomps him. And as Cole always says, the coup de grace, not the coup de grace. And wins in 1 minute 30. Second squash of the night.
Was it that quick? Was it? I knew it was quick. It was a bit longer than that.
No, that was it. He just did all his moves and beat the guy.
Yeah.
I know SummerSlam had like 13 matches, but like, Jesus Christ, you didn't need to have squash matches. Like, I don't think a squash match at a big pay-per-view like SummerSlam should be needed. You know?
I don't know,
Yeah.
I think it worked in the Corbin case. It didn't in Owens' case.
Yeah, totally agree. I didn't need to see a long Baron Corbin match again.
Yeah.
Yeah, that. Well, to be fair, this match shouldn't have been booked for like what, the 5th time now.
Well, unless they were going to have the Demon come out and just win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think this was fine for what
All
it
right,
was.
fair enough. All right.
Like Will said, the Strowman Owens match, I don't know that did anything for Owens, but this one, I got no problem with this one.
And it looks
Well-
like if Raw and Evans go by, it looks like Balor might be back in the title picture.
Yeah.
So
So
it's kind of a way of sort of not rebooting him as such, but sort of bringing him back into the
reminding everyone that
Yeah.
he's got
who he is.
this, other side. Yeah, nothing much to say about that one. So Nakamura retained the US title against Jeff Hardy. I can't remember anything about this one.
I can't, you know. No,
What happened here?
I know Nakamura won, but that's all I know.
I just know that Jeff Hardy lost, and then like Randy Orton came out looking for
And
an
didn't
attack,
attack
and then and just walked it back.
That's right, yeah, he didn't, did he?
I remember a Swanton and Nakamura barely made the rope. It looked like he wasn't going to get the rope.
Yeah.
That's like the one thing I remember about this match.
He
Other than
supposedly Jeff doesn't like to do the Swanton because he's like over 40 and it fucking hurts him. But yeah, he does like a spot where he lands on the fucking apron.
I was
Yeah.
gonna
Oh,
say, I
that
remember
too.
that.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
That didn't look nice. Yeah.
Ah, he doesn't like doing the Swanton anymore. Is that why he lands right on the guy now? For like 10 years, he used to kind of overshoot and like his head would land on the guy and he would take the back bump. Now he lands right on the guy.
That might be
Totally
why he
smashes
hates
the
it
guy every
now.
time. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
I guess if we can't remember what happened here, then not much to say about this either. Finn Balor, before I forget, me and Will get a point for Balor. And me, Will, and Beans get a point for Nakamura. Smoot, what the hell? It's not looking good.
I'm really good at picking the loser.
Should we do that next time? You just choose the
Yeah.
opposite.
Yeah, yeah, pretty much.
Okay. Then the third squash of the night wasn't quite as quick, but was still one-sided. Ronda Rousey, your new Raw Women's Champion. Alexa Bliss was a total joke here.
Yeah, there's not much going on in this one, was there?
No. Alexa trying to run away. Ronda luring her back in, closing her eyes and whatever. Lots of Samoan drops. Armbar finish. Easy.
Yeah, it's so easy that we all predicted it, and it happened.
We
also
did.
we almost predicted. I think I almost called the double jointed spot as well for Alexa, where she would like Rousey
Yep.
would get her in the armbar and then make it look like she broke it or something.
Good call.
Yeah.
That's about all there is to this one as well.
Yeah.
We really have no comments on any of these matches. They just happened. And then Roman Reigns, Brock Lesnar was about to happen. Braun Strowman comes out with his briefcase, says, I'm going to challenge the winner. Which is cool, because I thought they can't just do this again. They can't make it a three-way like they did with Rollins. They're just looking for a way out of this match every time these days. No, he said, I'll challenge the winner. Match goes on. Lesnar beats him up, throws the case up the ramp. Coach says, did that just hit? And then gets cut off. Presumably he wasn't supposed to say whatever he was about to say.
He broke the set, didn't he?
Yeah, it broke the set.
Oh, that's probably why it was. So yeah, Lesnar lays Strowman out. He couldn't cash in when Reigns won. Finally, after 4 years.
Yeah. Finally.
So Lesnar's been sent on his way. Roman Reigns, your conquering hero. anything to say. Reigns, me and Beans predicted this one. You guys thought Lesnar would retain. I wish you were right.
Yeah, a couple things. All right. I think WWE's pretty much desperate at this point to get people to sit through a Roman Reigns match, because otherwise, why would Strowman come out, say that he go through this entire spiel of like, I'm not gonna be like other Money in the Bank participants. I'm gonna cash in after this match, which he didn't do.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's not all about hitting people in the back or whatever, like taking the easy way. He's gonna be a man about it. Blah 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 blah.
It's a good point. I think you're right.
Yeah.
This had to be the main event, and they knew that people would walk out if they didn't have something,
right,
a hook to keep them there. It's a good point.
It's smart yet desperate, because Roman Reigns can't he can't retain an attendance, if he's the main event. People,
it's incredible.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right. The things they come up with to cover for how crap they are is quite impressive.
Yeah.
The little tricks they come up with to try and get Reigns over, some of them have been inventive. And if you would put this thought into doing anything else,
yeah.
Yeah.
The other thing, during the match when Lesnar, came out, and just me personally, I got a kick out of Lesnar purse slapping Strowman with the Money in the Bank case before chucking it up and hitting the LED boards.
Mm-hmm.
And then after, he tries to bring in a chair, and then it bounces off the ropes, and he just lands on his face for a brief few moments. That was also pretty great.
Buy it away for the replay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought that was great. But then, I don't know, Reigns wins, and then Strowman is somehow laid out because he can't recover from, a case shot. Come on.
Case shot from Lesnar.
Yeah.
That's a hard case shot. Yeah, those are all fair comments.
Yeah.
So yeah, points for us, and that means we will talk about the follow-up to all of this in a second. I'll just run through. This was out of 13. Smoot, you scored a gentleman's 4.
Yeah, I don't want to fucking talk about it. Now I'm mad. I thought I got at least maybe 5 or 6. No, fucking 4.
4. Cedric Alexander, B-Team, New Day, and Ronda Rousey. So at least they're all champions. Will, 7 out of 13. I got 8, and Beans, he won. He got 9 out of 13.
He's not even here.
Pretty impressive.
But
he's not here. He's not here. So I think I don't know. Maybe we should just wipe this off the record.
What's a 5-point deduction? Not showing up.
Yeah, standard 5-point deduction. So overall, we have predicted 54 matches this season. Smoot, you've dipped below the 50% mark. You're on 25 out of 54.
Yep.
Next up is Will on 33. Beans on 55, and I'm just hanging on to a lead on 38. Anything can happen, and likely will, because you guys are beating me every month lately.
Except for
Especially
me.
Beans. Yeah.
Except for Beans.
Anyway. Yeah, well, to be fair, we've got Hell in a Cell next month, and then we have the, Super Showdown and Evolution next up after that. So, I mean, theoretically, I could try to play catch up, but Jesus H.
There's a lot of matches between now and WrestleMania.
So, yeah.
Indeed.
Anyway. Moving on.
Moving on. Where are we going now?
To Raw. Because some big stuff happened over there, I guess. That we can talk about. Oh, oops, hold on. There we go. We can talk about Raw for a little bit. The one major thing that happened. That I think
thing.
Yeah, one major thing. Which, I mean, it was clearly obvious, don't you remember?
Was it Steph making Ronda Rousey's title win all about her?
No, the other thing.
B-Team losing to the Revival.
No.
No.
Oh.
Kurt Angle being fired. Not fired, given a holiday.
A sabbatical.
Yeah.
No, but you're close.
Shield.
Big Banter Baron, now the new GM.
Well, you're getting there. Almost. What'd you say, Will?
Shield.
No, not the Shield. It's Triple H addressing his match with The Undertaker.
Oh.
Super... No. It's very much the Shield reuniting after Strowman tried to cash in, which failed, and then going back to the strategic booking of Reigns here, trying to get him cheered and whatnot, and try to keep people's attention span. This feels like DX all over again, in a way.
What, trying to get Triple H over? Yeah.
Yeah.
Kinda.
And now, like, it's so weird because, like, Strowman's like the guy that that Vince has dreamed of being champion, and they're not putting the title on him. They're keeping it on Reigns, who is a very mixed receptive person for the crowd. So I don't know.
So what does this mean then? Like, why are they back together? Are they going to have 6-man tags with?
They're back together because Dean Ambrose is no longer injured.
Sure. What were they doing right before he got injured? I know that they were tag champions.
Mm-hmm.
They were kind of back, but still doing their own thing, weren't they?
Yeah, I guess they kind of were.
I think that'll probably be it. I think that they'll be back as and when, but they'll still do their own thing. I can't see them being a permanent feature. Not now that he's got the title.
Well, that's the thing, though. It kind of has to be like a mainstay on TV for a while, and it kind of makes Reigns a heel in a way because he needs help to help defend the title. What better way than have the Shield cronies beat everybody up? So I mean, in one regard, he kind of has to have the backup there for him.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see that.
So I mean,
so Reigns is feuding with Strowman again.
I think it's Strowman versus the Shield at this point.
God,
Which includes,
that's not good for anyone.
Yeah. Tell me about it. Did you like honestly not see this or?
Yeah, no, I saw Raw.
Oh. Mm-hmm.
I'm just trying to think of where it's going. I mean, presumably Strowman's going to cash in sooner rather than later. But why? Like, where does that leave the other two? I guess they could just split off and be a tag team and...
Rollins has got the Intercontinental Championship.
Yeah.
Ambrose is the only one that doesn't have gold. Yeah.
I suppose they could do a tag with Ziggler and McIntyre. They've done a load of singles with each other, but they haven't done a proper tag.
It would be kind of shallow just to reunite the Shield, though.
Yeah.
I mean, if they're going to just keep doing what they would... Yeah. As like a scapegoat for just, Strowman not being able to cash in. Like, it's just... Clever, but desperation. That's, again, the thing. And there goes a car, apparently. Okay. That's all right. No, it's fine. Yeah, Triple H also... Going back to Triple H for a sec. the Super Showdown bit, like, granted, he did kind of sell me on the match itself, but like he didn't fully explain.
He didn't need to.
Why.
Yeah, I wasn't that interested in it first, but then I just thought it was just going to be another. It's a house show match essentially, but I don't know. He did kind of sell me in it. I'm kind of interested in it.
I think the Undertaker's still going over because he's the Undertaker.
Oh yeah.
I mean, neither guy needs the win, but I think Undertaker is still like the guy in WWE, and I think he's gonna get the victory in Australia, mate. Yeah, Ronda Rousey attacked Steph's arm. Steph wanted to know where Angle was. He was just on his phone, diddling around in the back.
Of course he was.
And
he's always on his phone.
The fucking phone or the TV. It's one of the two. And, now Corbin's the acting general manager of Raw. What are some of the other main taglines here?
They should do something really big with that. Obviously they won't, but they should have him, like, change the set and just screw everything up.
Yeah.
Good luck with that.
It would just be fun. Someone completely inappropriate for the job gets power, and suddenly everything's a mess. Just shake things up. It's a Russo idea.
We don't want to do any. He wants to.
Time to shake things up again.
I did see a rumor that they may be considering doing another shake-up before the end of the year.
Jesus.
Why?
Didn't they just do one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what the actual story was. I've seen the headline.
Just get rid of the brand split, man.
No, don't get rid of the brand split. We've got to keep the brand split. Just get rid of half of the belts.
Yeah, it also helps. Not much else happened on Raw. Unless I'm, forgetting something that isn't listed here. Going over to SmackDown, we kind of touched upon this a little bit. Daniel Bryan, Brie Bella, challenging Miz, Maurice, Hell in a Cell, mixed tag match. Jeff Hardy and Randy Orton ended in a no contest, a chaotic no contest, where Jeff Hardy did that pretty much the same spot as he did years prior in like 2008, where he jumps off the tech area, lands on Randy Orton through a table. So.
That was on Orton too, right?
Yeah, yes it was. Yeah.
Mm.
God, these two really have been fighting forever.
Yeah. Peyton Royce, Dave Meltzer's favorite person at NXT.
Oh, we haven't talked about that, have we?
No, apparently. So somebody went through like one of the recent Observer podcasts and tweeted at Peyton Royce mentioning something from that podcast where Meltzer said that he liked Peyton Royce, but pointed out that she was a lot lighter in NXT, and what he was referring to was the pre-boob job that she had. Because, like, out of context, it sounds like you're just calling her fat.
Yeah.
Like, there's no beating around the bush around that. Like, you sound like you're calling somebody fat. And they tweeted that at Peyton, and she was upset over it. Tweeted at Meltzer, she had her words towards him. And everybody else was on the bandwagon, towing the company line. I think Renee Young called Meltzer like a piece of garbage or something like that. All he had to do was just say, I liked her when she was lighter in the chest area or something around that nature.
That would have been even more inappropriate.
But at least you would have been to the point.
I just think it was a massive overreaction.
Yeah.
It was, but...
Yes and no. I'll say that.
Yeah.
Yes and no. I don't think it got to the point like somebody on ESPN pointed it out. And I was like, all right, let's tone it back. Let's tone it back. We don't need to completely dogpile on this one comment where it was basically like it was misconstrued, pretty much. So,
and it didn't help that he then just completely apologized and was like, yeah, I know I shouldn't have been talking about that kind of thing. Of course, it's a major problem when people like me talk about, you know, the looks of females, and, you know, there's just what he said wasn't necessarily wrong.
I liked her. All I had to say was I liked her before the boob job. That's it. It would have been fine.
Then I don't know if he should be commenting about her boobs.
I mean, it's part of her looks. It's part of her, you know, the presentation of her character. People won't be happy that
he's commenting about her looks.
Well,
he's not actually coming out and saying she's fat. That's what it sounded like. Yeah, that's what it sounded like, though. Because, like, again, if you, out of context, if you were just to hear that quote, it's a bad quote. Oh yeah,
right. But instead of saying that was out of context, that quote,
yeah.
You know, I'm sorry it sounds like that, but that's not what I was saying. Instead, he said, no, I shouldn't have said anything like that. And before he said it, on the clip, he says people are going to take this out of context, pretty much. And he said, like, here we go. Whenever I say anything like this, it always blows up into a big thing.
Huh.
And he clarified, you know, I'm not saying she's unattractive. Obviously, she's an attractive woman and all that kind of stuff. But then, you know, when people get outraged about stuff, they don't. Well, it's just nothing about her being attractive or whatever. He shouldn't be commenting about this stuff. This is what gives women complexes about them.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, he was just saying a thing.
Yeah.
Cosmetic business. You know, say this stuff about guys all the time.
Yeah. And, like, I mean, getting work done is part of the... It is part of the business. If you want to try to, you know... You're an entertainer. You try to present yourself in a way that is attractive to people to watch. You know, in a way.
And now more than ever,
right?
You don't have to do that. There are
true.
Loads of women
Very true.
Who don't get the boobs.
Yeah.
Like in the 90s, in the 2000s, pretty much they all did.
Yeah.
Now, not so much.
Not so much. Exactly.
So obviously, Peyton decided that's something she wants to do.
Right.
He did it. You know.
Was it Stephanie when she got hers done? Aaron Jericho made a bit of a thing of it on TV once.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I suppose if you're happy with doing that, then it's you, innit?
But times have changed. So.
Yeah. Well. Yeah. True.
Yeah. You can't say anything about anything.
I think again, if you just would have said, you know, just pointed it out in regards to the chest area, it probably would have still been, you know, out of, you know, there would have been some outrage, but I don't think it would have made it to, like, ESPN. You know?
Yeah.
I don't think you would have had as many people, you know, bandwagoning and all this other shit. That's just my opinion on it. So... Anyway, Peyton won against Naomi. Becky Lynch and Charlotte threw down in a wild brawl, as listed here on WWE.com. Here, let me cut to that, just because I like the transition there. Rusev and Lana defeated Andre Cien Almas, and Zelina Vega with the help of Aiden English. Samoa Joe savagely attacked AJ Styles. This is another rematch happening at Hell in a Cell here. These two again. Samoa Joe and AJ Styles. So AJ's got to retain, I would assume. Because 50-50 booking.
Well, but he retained last time, so...
Yeah, but Samoa Joe won.
That's true.
Yeah.
But that in itself is kind of 50-50. One guy won, one guy retained.
Yeah, that's true.
So there's going to be no third match.
No, there has to be a third, because now they go full 50-50. AJ wins one, Samoa Joe wins one, or the other way around. Maybe Joe wins and then AJ wins it back. That doesn't really work. Styles wins, then Joe wins it the next time around, something like that. I don't know.
Maybe have like AJ win it in like another controversial fashion, and then Samoa Joe beats him at Super Showdown or something like that. I don't know.
Oh, you know what's going to have to happen if Bryan and Miz are having a number one contenders match?
Yeah.
Then there's only one more to go. Whatever they do at Styles and Joe now, has to be the last one. So whoever wins faces the winner of that one. So presumably, Styles and Bryan, that's good. Samoa Joe and Bryan, that's really good. Joe already beat him that time in that, was it a gauntlet match, I think.
What about...
Eliminated him. Oh no, Bryan got the fluke win. Got like a roll-up.
Oh. What about AJ Styles Miz?
Did he? Was that Rusev? God damn it. AJ Styles Miz, I don't see it.
Yeah, I don't see it either. Not saying it wouldn't happen, but it could very well be a thing.
But then if Samoa Joe wins, then Styles has a rematch that he then wouldn't be able to take. So maybe Styles has to retain.
Yeah,
we get Styles and Daniel Bryan.
Yeah.
I could see that. That's a good match.
Yeah, I don't know. If Bryan gets it gets the number one contendership opportunity. I would be very surprised, in a way, because it's either going to be like, if he wins it, the company trusts him to challenge for the title at the very least, maybe if not win it. Or if he loses, then one's got to wonder if he's just out the door again.
Yeah.
So. And then in the SmackDown main event... Oh, go ahead, sorry.
More interesting than anything they've got going on Raw.
Yeah,
Four guys on SmackDown all around that title mix, and anything could happen.
Yeah.
And even if it is Miz and Styles, probably all right.
It's not the worst. It's not the worst.
Exactly.
At the very least. Like, that's still going to be an entertaining match.
So there's four guys, you can pair them up in any way, and it'll probably be fine. And there's other guys on the periphery, whether it's Hardy and Orton or Nakamura, all kind of around there, could have these title matches and be fine.
Yeah.
On Raw, you've got Roman Reigns. Always.
Well, not just Roman Reigns, but now he has the Shield. So.
Yeah, I like the Shield, but come on.
I do too, but
But the other two aren't getting anywhere near the title.
That and the Shield act is getting old. Like, this is the third reuniting now. Like,
it should be the second.
Should be the second.
The real second was cut off, so it's 2 Part B.
But this is technically the third one, and like, you're waiting for either Rollins to backstab Reigns again, or maybe Ambrose backstabbing Reigns or Rollins. So it's getting kind of old, in my opinion. Anyway, SmackDown main event, New Day, Bludgeon Brothers, no disqualification match. New Day won in a pretty thrilling match, to say the least.
So how did they work around the bicep?
I think.
Did they just pretend that he was fine?
Yeah, he didn't do a great deal in the ring.
Yeah, I was about to say, I think Rowan just kind of was like to the side and let Harper do all the heavy lifting and whatnot.
Probably for the best.
Yeah. I mean, there was a couple of decent spots. I think they chokeslammed Kofi Kingston on a propped up ladder, like in the ring.
Yeah.
That was pretty brutal. They actually
shot with the chair from where the Harper was outside underneath the announce table.
Yeah.
He just picked up the commentator's chair
and he doinked it off of Kofi. That was pretty great. They actually used the hammers as a weapon, which I think a lot of people wanted to see. And then I think Kingston actually grabbed the hammer and then used it on one of them, and then they ended up winning it, I think, off of that. Oh, there's also Xavier. I forgot to mention this. Xavier Woods doing like a top rope elbow drop to the outside, which was pretty amazing. Yeah.
So, you don't want to do that one too many times.
No, God, no.
I'll be feeling that.
But yeah, that was a pretty good match. Like, SmackDown's still the better show, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So.
Pretty.
That's it for me. I don't know if you guys have anything else you want to add. Got about like maybe 5 minutes before we get out of here.
No, I think we've covered everything.
No.
Okay.
The NXT UK tapings
Oh,
tonight.
yeah.
Second batch tapings.
Yeah, you want to do the...
These are in Birmingham tonight. I did read during the week that they did show a promo during SummerSlam, which is just a generic promo said coming soon. There was a reason there wasn't a date on there. Apparently, they are talking with several UK networks to put the show on, so they don't know when it's going to debut yet. Which is interesting. I thought they were just going to go with the network. But...
And also, not to interrupt, but you also mentioned to me before the show that there was a new title over there for NXT.
Yeah, Triple H is at the show tonight in Birmingham and unveiled the NXT UK Women's Championship. Which, from what I've seen, we've got it looks like the UK title, but with a white strap. Looks quite nice.
It really does look kind of nice. They probably got like a bad angle because you can't really see the gold coming off of the plates and whatnot at this angle. But like, other than that, it looks pretty good. I mean, you can see the NXT logo like right here. So,
I'm wondering if they might change the UK title because that's got where the NXT logo is on that. It's the WWE logo. So I wonder if they might change that and just not tell anyone.
Well, somebody's name was Michael Cole 1987 in the comments there. I just noticed that. Sorry.
All right. Okay. But yeah, it looks like the NXT UK brand is moving on. This is the second lot of tapings. There's another one in whatever next month is, September. I think they're every month now till November. But there's still no word on when it's actually going to be on TV.
Yeah.
They did tape a UK title match at the Takeover show before it went live. I think it's part of this week's NXT.
Really?
It was Zach Gibson versus Pete Dunne. So yeah, there's your UK update. They've also announced Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate are going to be probably more in the future, but those two up to now have been announced for the 2K19 game. I imagine there's going to be more as we go near the date.
Yeah, those are the big names from the UK.
Yeah.
All right. I think it's going to be it, unless there's anything else.
I think that's it.
All right. Well, we'll be back next week, hopefully. If there's stuff to talk about, we'll be here. Hopefully with Beans. He had to take care of some stuff at home, so he couldn't make it on this week, but hopefully we'll have him back next week. And hopefully we'll have you guys next week as well. Thank you again for listening, downloading. Tell your friends about the show. Get them to tune in. We're here every Saturday. Yeah. See you then. Take care. Have a good one, and enjoy the next week of wrestling, everybody, if you can. Take care. Good night.
Right.